Hi everyone, today's topic is informational writing. What is informational writing? Informational writing is primarily nonfiction. Its main purpose is to relay on facts and information in a cohesive and thoughtful way by using formats such as essays, books, journals, blogs, brochures, how-to manuals, signs, and lists. A shorter little definition is just to explain, describe, or inform.
Informational Writing, Episode 1. What is it? Informational texts tell facts. Facts are always true. Authors write informational books to teach other people facts about a topic. These books are fiction. They are made-up stories. They are not informational. These books are non-fiction. They are informational because they teach facts about a topic. Informational texts often have special text features like a table of contents, headings, and a glossary. Check out Episode 2 to learn how you can choose a topic for your own informational book.
Okay, so that was just explaining a little bit more about informational writing / reading. So when you're teaching like a unit about this, you can think about the different books you're going to pull or mentor text to introduce informational writing to your class. So I think this is a great one to even show students what the difference between nonfiction and fiction is, some of the text features that make an informational book, and it's just a great resource to know and have for your class. So that's why we also wanted to add this in for introducing the topic. Tompkins chapter 8 talks about expository / informational writing and the purpose, audience, and form. So the purpose is children use expository writing to learn and share information. The audience is a wide unknown audience. Information presented can be displayed in posters, diagrams, and other charts in school, hallways, or community. Forms, we're going to talk a little bit later in our presentation about this, but they can be all about books, ABC books, riddles, posters, diagrams, charts, stories, and poems. Informational text structures is also from Tompkins. The description is describe a topic by listing characteristics, features, and examples. The sequence is writer lists items or events in chronological order. Comparison, writers explain how two or more things are alike and different. Cause and effect, writers explain one or more causes and the resulting effect. Problem and solution, writers will state a problem and provide more than one solution. And here's just a little example of the description one. So the middle, they have the topic bats, and they describe it with the little spider legs on the side.
For the first question, it is, in your own education, do you remember looking at informational books and their text structures? Did you like them? Why or why not?
Okay, so within informational writing, one of the most important traits that goes along with it is the organization of this writing. So in informational writing, the organization of it is how the writers show the reader the order, connections, hierarchy, and importance of the ideas in writing. And when they do this, they're following the idea to make meaning of it all the way until the end. In the body of informational text, that can be organized in a variety of different ways. That can be done by point analysis, deductive logic, cause and effect, compare and contrast, problem and solution, order of importance and complexity. And the informational writer has many choices, not just limited to these, to organize the body of the text and make their ideas stand out. And the end usually wraps up the idea, draws conclusions, and leaves the reader with a bigger picture of the topic that they originally started reading about. Another one of the important features and organization of informational writing are the headings. Headings appear at the top of major sections, and they give a reader an idea of what to expect in that paragraph. And underneath headings, sometimes you'll find subheadings that give clues about parts of the larger section. So they might give a little bit more of a detail, but not anything too revealing, but still just to draw you in. So if you look down at that picture, we have an Emma Roberts article. And so that would be the heading, Emma Roberts, because we know it's going to be about her. And then a little more of insight is the subheading, says, this star of hit show Unfabulous works hard to set a good example. So we know it's going to be talking about her on that show, setting a good example for something. So that's just one example. Oftentimes, in certain chapter books, authors will start stories at random parts in a character's life or use flashbacks and other types of organizational methods. I know in high school, once stories got more complex, I remember reading books that would start just at a random part in the character's life, and you would at first be very confused, and then later on you realize the reason for the author organizing it in that way. And students can also see organization through a lot of other writing, which can help their understanding through it. One example that I loved as a kid was the book Flipped, if anyone remembers it. And it was organized in a way where you would have to flip the book and read. Each chapter was narrated by the boy and the girl. So there were two narrators to the book. So that was a really interesting organizational method. And now that I'm older, I look back on that and realize how much it shaped my understanding of the book and how much more engaging that was to read. So using interesting organizational methods can really spice up the writing and make it more engaging for the reader to want to continue it till the end.
For question number 2, it is, what do you remember being taught in elementary school about the element of organization and narrative writing? How about when beginning or ending a story or paper?
Okay, now we will get into some of the activities for the classroom to use and explore informational writing. Some activities from Tompkins Chapter 8 include guidebooks, ABC books, multi-genre projects, cubes, riddles, collaborative reports, and all about books. This is an example of an ABC book. This book particularly is about flowers. The organization for an ABC book is organized in alphabetical order as seen right here. This is a helpful way to organize information for younger students. This is an example of a first grader's all about book in which they're talking about ocean animals. You can also see that they included illustrations to go along with each topic they're writing about on that page. This is a cube, which is a way to organize information that can actually be a real cube, and it has 6 sides in this case. And it says to describe the information, to compare it, to associate it, to analyze it, apply it, and argue for or against it.
The final question will be, which of the activities to practice informational writing would you incorporate into your classroom and why? Explain how it might be beneficial to learning the organization trait of informational writing.
Here is a list of mentor texts that students and teachers use when it comes to informational writing. The first one is a National Geographic Readers About Planets by Elizabeth Carney. The next one is a Wildlife Photographer by William David Thomas. The third one is I Wonder Why the Sea is Salty by Anita Ganeri. The fourth one is How Things Work in the Yard by Lisa Campbell Ernest. The fifth one is a National Geographic Readers About Panda by Anne Schreiber. Living in South Korea by Chloe Perkins. And the last one is Celebrate Chinese New Year by Carolyn Otto. Here are a couple more mentor text examples that show pictures of the covers so you can know what you're looking for. If you were to go looking for mentor text, that would be good for informational writing. The first picture shows a National Geographic Kids about penguins. The second one is Everything Pets, which is also National Geographic. And the third one is Sun, Moon, and Stars. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation on informational text. I hope you gained more knowledge when it came to this topic. And if you have any questions, please ask us on Friday.